Hi everyone, welcome to Spirits in the Studio, my YouTube channel. I'm Nancy Kelly and I'm an artist. Today I want to talk about the emotional value of my celebrity spirit portrait series. If you've been following me at all, you probably know that a big part of what I do is spirit portraits, and recently I have been creating a series of celebrity spirit portraits. So I want to dive into that and talk about the different emotional levels that these portraits can bring up for the collective. The emotional value of, forgive me, I am going to be glancing down at my notes because I feel it makes for a more concise and shorter video. So getting back to it, the emotional value of these portraits lies more, or not so much in fame itself, but more in what the famous person represents to the collective psyche. Spirit portraits open the door to seeing the soul behind the persona. And while the persona may be glitzy and sparkling and entertaining, it is not profound and it is not as interesting as the soul, of course. So in this video, I want to cover 3 levels of emotional resonance. And the first one is archetypal resonance. The archetype is, the hero, the victim, the rebel, the villain, the innocent, and so on. Carl Jung lists 12, but other people and professionals in the field of psychology list more. And when you get into the shadow self, there are more still. So, for example, I brought out my unfinished celebrity spirit portrait of Clint Eastwood, and I hope to get this out today with my Substack. And I think his archetype is the hero because he is always eliminating the bad guys in a lot of his movies. And people feel recognized when they resonate with an archetype, because as we go through life, it's difficult and it's helpful to have a role model to use as a guidepost. The second emotional level that I want to bring up is collective memory and shared emotion. 2 great examples I can give you of this are, 1, the song What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. This is a song about finding beauty in everyday life. So every time we hear it, or when we see a photo or a portrait of Louis Armstrong, we're reminded of that emotion, which is timeless and powerful. And it speaks to hundreds of millions of people who are not famous. It doesn't matter. Another example is the movie The Wizard of Oz, starring Judy Garland as Dorothy. And this is a very iconic role that transcends the generations, it transcends time, and it's about conquering our fears, finding our way home again, and defining what home really is. We might remember our age when we first saw it, what point in history that was, and that brings up more emotions still. So the third emotional level that I want to talk about today has to do with the shadow self, because just because you're famous, it doesn't mean you are perfect. And you might have a lot of problems, or the issues you deal with, the curveballs that get thrown at you in life, are played out on a very public stage, because the media loves to report on these sensational stories, and people love to watch them. People love to watch falls from grace, sadly, because they feel jealous or because they're going through the same thing themselves, and it's comforting. For example, a celebrity might be going through a really ugly divorce, might be battling addiction, experiencing trauma, being persecuted, and hopefully as they go down the road of resolving, hopefully, these issues, they experience healing and even redemption. And that is very comforting to hundreds of millions of people going through the same things. So I'll stop there. Thank you for watching this video, for learning more about celebrity spirit portraits in general and their value. Please like, share, and subscribe, and may your power animals be with you. I'll see you next time.